Welcome to the latest edition of Inside Carolina. I'm your host, Hannah Horn, a proud alumna of the university. And in this episode, we're going to hear from some state leaders about the crucial role of the University of South Carolina throughout the state and how you can support that role in the upcoming Carolina Day. Then we'll take you to the Montgomery Speech Language Hearing Clinic and meet a mother and son whose lives have been deeply impacted by the work that happens there. Join us as we go inside Carolina. On Carolina Day, alumni and advocates will come together to support the university's efforts to build a stronger, healthier state and to thank legislators who have helped the university fulfill its mission.
The university helps me just about every day in making good policy decisions, and probably the two areas that I am most focused on simply with my role here in the Senate. I'm the chairman of the K-12 Education Budget Finance Committee. I've worked really closely with the Department of Education, for instance. We have a real problem in South Carolina of recruiting and retaining and training quality teachers. The university is very engaged in trying to determine the research to help us identify what's going to help us to improve that situation, get quality teachers in the classroom, and maintain those teachers. So we use their data and research every day. The other one is I'm very interested in South Carolina's tax policy and our economic development and job creation opportunities, really creating opportunities for somebody, whether they're educated at the University of South Carolina or elsewhere, to have the ability to have a job and a career that can support a family is critical to the success of South Carolina.
I grew up in South Carolina. I grew up in Columbia, and so I've always known and seen USC. But it wasn't until I got to law school that I realized everybody has a connection to the university and how the university continues to try and make life better and how the university continues to strive to make it so that if you want a good college education, you need only look down the street. The biggest thing that resonates with me is that when USC speaks, everybody respects that voice. That they're not coming to talk to us and tell us things, and then we have to go and check behind them to see whether what they're saying is fact. We know that what they're saying is fact. We believe in that voice, and we know that where they're going to take us is where we need to go.
My dad went to Carolina. My uncle graduated from here. I've had other aunts and uncles that have attended. I attended the university entered in 1986, graduated in 1990. It was a wonderful experience for me. I came in thinking I was going to do one thing and ended up with the exposure to other programs, completely pivoting and going another way. And that's the neat part of the university, is that you can get here thinking you want to do one thing, and then whether it's the relationships that you build with friends that introduce you to other things, or the faculty and staff that introduce you to different ideas, you have that ability to pivot and really find a program that's right for you.
I look at my 3-year-old who could on cue say, dun, 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 USC, go Cox. He does it over and over again in the car. He does it when he's walking down the street because he's indoctrinated to believe that USC is that kind of institution. So you take that all the way up to a 15-year-old, my 15-year-old, who won't miss a game. It's more than an institution, it's a belief system. And it's this belief that we can do better, we will do better, and we'll do it collectively. And I think that just speaks volumes about USC.
Carolina Day happens February the 11th, so be sure to show your support, Gamecock Nation. Well, from impacting our state to inspiring connections that transcend generations, Gamecocks are committed to excellence, and that commitment is really making a difference for the Coates family and their care team at USC.
I met Tykeria Coates when she was around 3 and diagnosed her with hearing loss at another facility.
They took me in a room with a bunch of lights and everything. I was paying attention to everything but the sounds.
Around age 5, her hearing started to progress.
Nobody knew that I went completely deaf while I was still wearing the hearing aids.
I was new to cochlear implants. She was one of my first patients. It was a really cool experience working with someone who had followed since she was little.
And it worked out best for me. I'll never forget when I got it put on. I played with like a little bumblebee machine and it made so much noise. I was so excited. By the time I had him, when he was little, just noticing them, teaching him about it, I had this like polar bear that had the hearing aids on it. And he used to walk around and, I'm gonna get one. That's when we was having troubles with Messiah at school, with being hard-headed, not listening, but it still didn't click. it still didn't click as maybe he's losing his hearing because I'm deaf. So I'm not gonna catch on to it. You would think I would because I'm deaf and I would notice the signs, but I didn't because I didn't hear everything to know that he couldn't hear.
She called me and said, hey, I have a child who has hearing loss. He was just diagnosed in Greenville. And I said, where did you go? And she told me, I'm like, you're in a great facility. She's like, yep, but I need to come see you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So she brought Messiah in to see me. And we fit him with hearing aids 3 weeks later. He was a champ. Like he took them, he learned to put them in that day. He loved hearing with his hearing aids. He was excited. Eventually he ended up qualifying for a cochlear implant. We knew he wanted to catch it quickly and move forward. That was Mom's goal for him, is if he needs an implant, I want it done as quickly as possible. That was exciting. He was my first simultaneous bilateral cochlear implant patient. But what you don't think about is when they have surgery, what little bit of residual hearing they have is gone. And so for 2.5, 3 weeks, he didn't hear anything. So he was emotional and he missed hearing. And so at his activation, he was so excited to hear. Bop, 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 bop. Do you hear me? Is my voice loud or soft? Loud. It's loud. Give it just a minute. Listen to Mama.
Hey, Messiah, is it too loud? You like it? You do? You okay? Okay.
I was excited because I can hear everybody, and I used to not hear people at school, and so that's
It's okay. You're doing a good job. Go ahead.
And so that's why when I had my surgery, and then I started hearing everybody.
And he has never once not worn them. He's taken responsibility of them. He puts them on, he takes them off. I can remember when he first got them, she had to make him take them off to go to sleep. I mean, today, Mom's telling me that in school, he's advocating for himself. Hey, something's not right. And that's why I'm really proud. That's my goal for all of our patients, to self-advocate and get the resources that they need for help.
What do you tell your friends when they ask you about your hearing aids?
That I'm deaf and I can't hear it like everybody else in school.
And what do you tell them that's exciting about it?
That I can hear everybody in school, but just not like everybody else.
First, I'm really proud of her. I'm proud of what she's done and the mother she's become. I'm proud of the life choices that she's making to try to help her children to communicate the best that they can. But her relationship with me, it reminds me that I'm in the right profession. I'm in a field that I love. We get to make a difference in people's lives every day, and you can't take that for granted. The university's support has always been there for us. They're very supportive of our schedule so that our patients don't have to just be rushed in and out the door, that we can spend time getting to know them. But also we're a training facility, so we have students in with us that give students time to learn and to be able to be a part of that, so that when they leave, they understand the importance of patients not being just a number, but actually being a person with a story and a life and an impact that they can make.
What a great story. Well, thank you for joining us for this latest edition of Inside Carolina. If you liked this episode, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and fellow alumni. We'll see you next month, Inside Carolina.